Actor Alec Baldwin says that he got into a car accident on Long Island this morning. He posted about this on Instagram, saying that a garbage truck pulled out in front of him while driving in East Hampton.
It happened fast, too fast for even Alec Baldwin to process. 1 second, his Range Rover was cruising through the damp, narrow streets of East Hampton. The next, a garbage truck the size of a small house swerved ahead of him. The brakes screamed, the car veered, and the world went silent just before the crack.
The footage shows the truck exiting a parking lot and making a right turn. Moments later, Baldwin's white Range Rover crashes into a white mailbox.
The front of his SUV smashed headfirst into a tree. Inside were Alec and his brother Stephen, the Hollywood bloodline once painted as untouchable, now wrapped in airbags and irony. No one died, no one was even badly hurt, but the internet lit up like a firestorm. Karma finally found him, one user wrote. The tree did what the court couldn't, another joked. It didn't matter that Alec later said the truck had cut him off, or that the weather was bad. The story had already escaped reality.
This morning I was in this car accident. Guy cut me off in a truck. Big garbage truck. A garbage truck the size of a whale.
Because when your name is Alec Baldwin, every accident sounds like divine payback. That's what makes this moment sting and trend. Baldwin's been living under a curse of perception ever since October 21st, 2021. That's the day everything changed. On the New Mexico set of The Western Rust, the actor held what was supposed to be a cold prop gun. But when it fired, a real bullet tore through cinematographer Helena Hutchins, killing her instantly and wounding director Joel Souza.
I'm happy to stay right here and do everything you need.
Well, my lieutenant just wants you to stay away from everybody and not to talk to nobody, so I was...
Wait right here.
Hollywood froze. The headlines didn't read accident. They read Alec Baldwin shot someone. For months, the world debated whether he should face prison or pity. Prosecutors charged him, dropped it, then recharged him again. Talk shows replayed the footage. Late-night hosts whispered the word karma. Even when Baldwin swore he never pulled the trigger, the story had already picked its villain. By 2022, his career was in survival mode. Projects vanished, friends went quiet. The Rust set became a legal battlefield. And still, Baldwin tried to project calm, smiling with his yoga instructor wife Hilaria on Instagram, posting family photos, pretending the world hadn't turned him into a symbol of Hollywood arrogance and carelessness. But the public wasn't buying it. Too soon, they said whenever he joked online. Too fake, they said when he cried on camera. Every move looked rehearsed. Every apology sounded like PR.
Yeah. Because I think back, and I think of what could I have done.
Then came 2023. Hilaria started talking about a reality show. Baldwin hinted he might retire or reinvent. Some fans softened, others doubled down. He gets to live like nothing happened, one tweet read. The man who'd once been adored for 30 Rock now carried the energy of a ghost haunting his own fame. And now, in 2025, the crash. The irony was too perfect. The car smashed into a tree just minutes from his Hamptons home, the same luxury world where critics said he'd hidden from accountability. Reporters flooded the scene. Baldwin emerged unhurt but visibly shaken. He blamed the truck. And maybe he was right.
Big garbage truck. A garbage truck the size of a whale. I've never seen a garbage truck. It must have been something commercial.
But online, that detail vanished under headlines dripping with symbolism. Alec Baldwin crashes headfirst into tree in Hamptons. People didn't see a tree. They saw karma wearing bark. They saw the universe writing its own sequel to Rust. And for a man still fighting to prove he isn't cursed, this felt like the punchline no one wanted but everyone clicked. Because whether you believe in fate or physics, the truth is this. The world's been waiting for Alec Baldwin's next fall. And when it came, even with airbags instead of bullets, it felt like destiny hit replay. By the next morning, Alec Baldwin's car crash wasn't just a story, it was a theory. Twitter threads called it divine retribution, TikToks whispered, "Karma don't miss," and Reddit had already drawn lines between that tree in the Hamptons and that gun in New Mexico. Someone even wrote, "The universe finally yelled, 'cut.'" That's how brutal the internet can be, quick to play judge, jury, and cosmic messenger. But here's the twist. The louder the world mocked him, the more people started to hesitate. Because even if you think Baldwin has done wrong, how many times can one man trip over fate before it starts looking like a punishment too heavy to carry?
When I met her, I knew she had that spark. I knew she had that flint to her, that she was going to get that day's work done and get the shots that she wanted.
Let's rewind again. After Rust, 2022 wasn't just a quiet year, it was a public autopsy. Every interview he gave was dissected for lies. Every tear was scanned for acting. Prosecutors refiled charges, his career teetered, and fans turned cold. Hollywood didn't cancel him outright, but it sure left him on red. Behind closed doors, insiders said Baldwin became obsessed with controlling the narrative, defending his innocence, promising justice for Helena, trying to be both victim and villain in a movie no one wanted to watch. Then came the apology tour, podcast interviews, late-night tears, hilarious yoga piece posts, all feeding the same fire. "Stop talking, Alec," commenters said. "You're only making it worse." But the man couldn't stay quiet.
Remember, I stood on stage the last night and I just had tears flowing down my face because I thought, I'll never say these words again on stage. This is it. This is my last time doing this.
Fame had raised him. Silence would bury him. So when he climbed into that Range Rover last week, people already had their captions written before the airbag even deployed. That's the irony. Every move he makes now is filtered through guilt and fate. If he laughs, he's heartless. If he cries, he's faking. And when he crashes a car, well, that's the universe serving justice with an oak tree. But here's where things get messy, because not everyone's cheering. Scroll through the comments and you'll see it. He's suffered enough. Accident or not, he's still human. Maybe it's time we stop pretending karma equals cruelty. The internet loves punishment until it starts to look painful. Do you believe this was karma finally catching up, or just life reminding Alec Baldwin that no one escapes consequences, even the innocent ones? Comment below and tell Miss Cathy what you think, and hit that subscribe button, because this story isn't done unraveling yet. The car wasn't just a crash, it was a mirror, a literal reflection of the chaos he's been driving through for 4 years. He called the garbage truck the size of a whale, said the tree came out of nowhere.
Big garbage truck. I mean, a garbage truck the size of a whale.
But some fans pointed out something darker. He hit something solid again and walked away again. It's almost poetic, right? In 2021, a woman lost her life on his set. In 2025, a tree nearly took his. Maybe the lesson isn't about guilt or innocence, but survival. Maybe the universe didn't want him dead, just humbled. And that's the line people can't stop arguing about. Is Alec Baldwin cursed or protected? Because if karma wanted him gone, he'd be gone. Instead, he's trending, still breathing, still talking, still haunting our feeds like Hollywood's unfinished chapter in a story that just won't end. By day 3, the Hamptons crash was no longer about a car. It was about Alec Baldwin versus fate. Again. Paparazzi photos showed him standing near the tree, staring at it like it was a ghost he recognized. His brother Stephen tried to deflect attention, but you could tell Alec felt the weight. The same man who once joked about politics, mocked paparazzi, and ruled Saturday Night Live with an iron smirk. Now silent, smaller, like a headline that finally realized it couldn't outshout its own echo. And maybe that's the cruel beauty of karma. It doesn't always destroy you. Sometimes it just replays your worst moments until you finally look them in the eye. When Rust happened back in 2021, the tragedy wasn't supposed to define him forever. But it did. A single second, a single bullet, and his life split into before and after.
There is new evidence out from the investigation of Alec Baldwin's accidental shooting incident on the set of his movie Rust.
No director, no fame, no PR could edit that out. And yet here he is, 4 years later, crashing into a tree while the world chants justice and sympathy in the same breath. Because the truth is, Alec Baldwin's story isn't just about guilt, it's about balance. He's not innocent, but he's not the monster the tabloids built either. He's a man trying to survive inside the storm he helped create, and the universe, as twisted as it is, seems to have made him its favorite experiment. You can see it in every stage of his fall. 2022, fighting charges, holding press conferences, pretending the laughter on 30 Rock still echoes. 2023, trying to smile through the silence of cancelled gigs, clinging to Hilaria's calm Instagram posts about family and forgiveness. 2024, the calm before the next storm, then boom, 2025, the crash, the tree, the memes. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. This accident could have killed him, and if it had, the same people tweeting karma would have suddenly switched to rest in peace. Because that's how the internet works. It tears you apart while you're breathing, then canonizes you once you stop. So maybe, in some dark, poetic way, this wasn't karma coming for him. Maybe it was karma sparing him, forcing him to live with the noise, the guilt, the irony. Because what's worse than punishment? Living long enough to watch people debate whether you deserved it. Alec Baldwin walked away from that wreck. No blood, no broken bones, just another scar invisible to cameras. And somewhere between the shattered glass and the headlines, a strange truth lingers. The man who took a life by accident can't seem to escape reminders that life can take him back whenever it wants. The universe doesn't forget, but maybe it forgives in its own twisted way. It doesn't crush you, it just keeps you trending until you learn something. And that's what makes this story so hard to look away from. Baldwin didn't just hit a tree, he hit the wall between what's deserved and what's destined. So when people ask, was this karma? Maybe the answer isn't yes or no. Maybe it's both. Maybe the real punishment isn't falling. It's getting up every time the world wishes you'd stay down. Because Alec Baldwin's still here, still tweeting, still explaining, still fighting ghosts. And for a man the internet tried to bury, walking away from that crash might have been his most cinematic survival yet.